Hi ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us in what promises to be a very insightful and informative live stream on our building system, the Hydraform building system, which is an interlocking dry stacked building system. And basically by the end of this course, you would have received a very brief run through on how the building system works. And in addition to that, we'll then take you through what project management entails and some of the skills and competencies that a project manager would be expected to have when managing a construction project. All right, so stay tuned, stick with us till the end of the stream, and we promise you'll learn quite a bit. All right, cool stuff. So what we have here is what we refer to as the conduit mold. It's called the conduit mold because of this impression that's in the center of the block, which allows for things like services and reinforcing bars to run through and the likes. So, the basic dimensions of the block is that it's 180 wide, which will then be your overall thickness of the wall. It's 230 in length and it's 115 in height. We normally use about 38 of these in a square meter of walling. And that would help you to determine how many of these you need to build, whatever size wall you need. Okay, so how the system works is, you'll see I have my little brush here, because sometimes you might have a bit of debris here and the like, so you just need to get that off. And it's quite simple actually, because all you need to do is just slide the block into place until it makes contact with the preceding block. All right, and in that fashion, we'll then continue to build our wall up. Okay, there you go. Okay. As you can see, it's quite easy. Like I said, in some cases, you may need to just brush off any excess dirt that might be on the preceding course. There we go. And just slide the blocks into place until they make contact with each other, and that's how the interlock is achieved. All right. Okay. Well, again, notice that the blocks are completely dry stacked. That is, there is no mortar bed between each successive course. And, there are no additional tools required, say for, my little brush. And since the blocks perfectly interlock, there's no requirement for anything other than that. So that is basically how the dry stacking works, right? And thereafter, you would then be able to run through any services that may be required. Services could be your electrical cabling or water pipes or anything of that sort. Great product, very useful, especially for running services. And in the event that you need to build a reinforced wall, you could put reinforcing bars going through into the walls. Okay, all right. Now, in addition to that, I'd like to just take you guys briefly through sort of my role as a project manager on projects. We have several projects that we are running with at the moment. And I think it would be sort of unfair to get into what project management is without defining what a project is. So basically, a project is just, it's a temporary sort of, what's the right word for it? Endeavor, right? With the aim of achieving a unique sort of result. The result is could be a product or a service or anything of that sort. So the key words being temporary and unique. That is, each project has a defined start and finish date, and each project, yields a unique product or service. Correct? Now, projects normally go through 4 stages. The first stage is the initiation of a project. During the initiation of a project, we do such things as feasibility studies and obtain such things as client briefs and the likes. just sort of determining what is required of the project. What is the project? What are the objectives of the project? That would happen in the initiation phase. Thereafter, we go into the planning stage, where we put together budgets and preliminary designs and the likes, and sort of get the form of what a building, well, specific to construction, get the form of what a building would be and the likes, and which we would then take through to the next stage. So we do the initiation, the planning, and then we do the execution. Execution is directly related to what we just went through now. We're showing you guys how to do the interlocking blocks and everything. That's the actual construction of the project. Thereafter, you would then go through a very important stage known as monitoring and controlling. It's important that throughout the life of a project, you monitor and control the progress of a project. And thereafter, you then go through the final stage, which is the closure, which is closing off the project and handing it over to the client or whoever the beneficiary may be. Now, project management is a balancing act, because throughout these stages, there are certain aspects that one would have to balance. For example, you need to look at your scope, you need to look at your schedule, you need to look at your quality, you need to look at customer satisfaction, and you also need to consider the risks involved in the project. Now, all 5 of these are normally intertwined, and a change in one would normally result with a change in another. For example, if the time it takes to do a project is extended, naturally the cost of doing the project will also be extended. If you were to extend the time of doing a project but keep the costs the same, it would affect the quality of the project. So these are things that a project manager needs to take into consideration when managing a project. Now, with regards to the scope of a project, it's important that that is clearly defined, because the scope tells you what needs to be done in order for the project to be considered as being complete. The schedule of a project is also very important, because during the scheduling of a project, you list the milestones of a project, without which it would be difficult to say at any given time where the project is. So it's important that you have a set of milestones that you've put out. Customer satisfaction is usually achieved by ensuring that there is constant liaising between yourselves and whoever the client or the beneficiaries may be. And this would be done normally in the form of progress meetings and the likes. Risk assessment is a very important aspect that also needs to be looked at, because you need to be able to, at the onset of a project, and even during a project, identify those events or conditions that, if they were to occur, would either, affect the project adversely or in some cases positively. But you must know what those risks are, and sort of then be able to be in a better position to mitigate such risks. Ultimately, what a project manager needs to understand is that project management is the application of knowledge that one would have acquired either through experience or by learning. Competency is required in as far as your knowledge is concerned, which is what we refer to as knowledge competency. Competency is also required in terms of your performance during the running of the project, which is what we refer to as performance competency. And also personal competence, which is how the project management team as a whole behaves and responds to changes during the life cycle of a project. It is a rather complex subject matter, and this video does not in any way seek to qualify people as project managers, but rather just give people a brief run through of what it is to be a project manager, and sort of what does the process of project management entail. We truly hope that you've appreciated your time with us, and we look forward to your comments. I do see a couple of questions coming in already, and please guys, we encourage you to ask as many questions as you want, and we'll be right here to answer any queries that you might have. All right then guys, thank you for sharing your time with us, and we look forward to your comments and queries. Bye-bye.